Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to St. Bernard Acres. This is Monday, May 19th. I'm gonna have to head back to Wheeling now, so I had to take a shower and do things, do laundry and everything. But I've had a wonderful few days out here, accomplished the things that I wanted to accomplish, and thought I'd do a little recap for you guys. And I'm not allowed to comment on Preppernurse1's channel right now, but there's something I wanted to say, so stick around towards the end of this recap and I can give you my thoughts on something. But aside from that, let me show you what we went through here. But yeah, got everything mowed around here. All the grass is cut. Stepping back further and further, we're clearing more and more and getting more and more space up here. But I got the push mower going, got the riding mower going, got the mower deck back on the tractor, so I got everything at my disposal now. Let's take a walk around it. I know it needed it. Let's see, Friday, well, I got out here Thursday night I did a live stream, which was really good. It was cool to do a live stream on Thursday night. And I worked on my design for my septic system. That was a treat. But I'll bring you up to date on that too. Also, I went out Friday morning, got all the lumber here to put the floor joists in for the addition. Remember, this is going to be the transition room going from this building to that building over there, which is Alex gave me, and it's going to be moved over here. But I got to get this ready, and then I'm not going to go any further with this until I get the other building moved over here, because I need, this is going to get bumped and hit and get knocked out of square. So once we get the other building over, I will get it attached and everything squared up and start building the floor and the walls and all that. But that's got it to where it needed to be so I can move the building. Let me get this thing going. I can't move the building until I get the septic installed. I mean, I could, but I would hate for the inspector to come out here after all the work I've done and say, wait a minute, you added another building to this. Maybe we ought to rethink the size. I don't want to do that. So I'll wait, and we're so close on the septic now anyway. So one of the things I had to do Friday was meet with the lady from the health department because they needed a design of my system. I had to draw it all up, everything to scale, where all the buildings are, where the tank's going, label all the different pipes and sizes and everything. It's like an engineered drawing. And I was very nervous about that, because without that, I don't get a permit. Without that being approved, I don't get a permit. So I know several drafts of it. I kept throwing it away and doing it again. And even Friday morning sitting out here, I did another one. And she came over, it was fine. She said, it looks great. It looks better than what most people send her, the professional installers. So I was happy about that. And then she came down here to the barn to look at all the pipe and fittings and infiltrator chambers and distribution boxes and speed levelers and end caps and blah, 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 blah. And said everything is fine. Everything is just what was needed. So we're ready to go pretty much. Boy, it's dark in there. I gotta get them lights set up. Somebody sent me lights. Some company, they're wanting me to do a review on them. But there is one more step I have to do before I can get the permit. And that's down here on the lower level where the leach lines are going. The leach field. And we walked down here Friday, but the grass down here, it was up over our knees because it hadn't been mowed since last summer. And so I had to get the mower deck on the tractor because there's no way that Husqvarna was going to cut through this stuff. Excuse me. But got it cut where we're, like I said, where we're going to put the leach field. And this is what they want done. What they have to do, Bobby and I are going to do it this weekend. He's going to bring his Transit out. We have to spray paint, you know, where the distribution box is going and where the lines are going, where they begin, where they end, all that kind of stuff. So she can come out and, I guess, take a picture of it. I think she said it's basically a formality. But we're going to come all the way down to this end. You probably can't see it, but the house is up in there. I don't know if I can get the camera, the phone to go up there or not. Up in there. And we're going to bush hog all this, get a path going up to where the tank is behind the house, and bring it down to the distribution box down here. And then we have to go, I need 4 lines going in that direction 100 feet. They're 2 foot, each trench is 2 feet. Then there has to be a foot between them. So basically I need, 8, 11, I need about 11 feet that it goes 100 feet long. So we're going to come down through here and follow the curve around and the slope and wind up back over on this side. But yeah, I've got the mower deck on the tractor, and I came down here and set up the camera and started mowing this stuff because it was so impressive what that tractor was doing. Got done knocking all of it down and went to get the camera, and it had malfunctioned. It didn't record anything. I was like, dang it. But I need this to dry out. So I'm going to come back Thursday and do it again to clean it up some. But because it's so soupy down here. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Did some work in Alex's building he's given us. We had it all framed up for his rooms the way he wanted them. Well, now that we're moving it over to be part of our house, all of that has to change. So all the inside has to be demoed. And I didn't think to record it when I was doing that. So, what an idiot. But it sure is nice out here. That log got cut. Seems to be rare opportunities between the rains out here. Damn. Yep, gotta get some lights in there. You see all that siding on that pallet? That smart siding, it's like 43 bucks a sheet. Plus the OSB, since I'm not building the way I was planning on, I'm gonna wind up with about 23 sheets of that smart siding and probably 16 or 18 sheets of the 3/4 inch OSB flooring. So I can build another house. Oh yeah. Just can't stop looking at this. It is so nice. All right, welcome inside the barn. Seems like every time I try to clean it up, I got to do more work in here and just makes another mess. So I was in here cleaning again this weekend, trying to organize this mess. But this is a big giant workshop, basically, is what it is, it seems like. And I don't know. But I'm getting more space over here. I could find a use for all that lumber. But it's coming together. So the second part of this video I wanted to address an issue was over on Preppernurse1's channel. Now, I'm not allowed to comment on his channel again, you know, so, but I thought he put up some videos. His road washed out. He's got this long road he had to build, driveway. I don't know, a mile, a little less than a mile, I guess. But just tons and tons and tons of gravel. And what you got to realize about property in the foothills of the Appalachians and where he is, everything is on a hill. You know, flat land is a premium. And I got lucky, I have a bit of flat land. It's all on a slope, but it's not a steep hill like his stuff is. So it's very hard to maintain anything like that. So I don't even think loggers could get down there and log that property. It's so steep, that mountainside that he's on. But he had built this road up, and last year, I think after the thaw, he had put a culvert in and the gravel over the top of it. And I think last spring, with the snow thaw, or earlier this year maybe, I don't even remember, earlier this year I guess, that torrential rains we've been having around here. Anyway, it washed that out and washed the culvert down the creek. So he had more gravel brought in, and they packed it all down and, you know, made it passable again. Well, last week or week before, here come the rains, washed all of that out. So they decided, and what you got to realize, that like me, you know, all of us pretty much, we don't have unlimited money just to throw at things because something that is not working. We don't have money to say, here, you know, whatever it takes. We have to figure out ways to make it happen. So he decided to dig out more of the trench there and put the culvert back in it, pin it in and cover it all back up, pour some more gravel over it to see if that'll last for a while. Because, I mean, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a road builder, none of that. I'm not going to hazard a guess as to whether it's done right or wrong or it'll last or won't. I don't know how any of that works. But they're doing what they can, you know, I'll give them that. Anyway, one of the people in his group, Barbara, brought her tractor down there. She's got a Kubota like this, a smaller one than this. It's got the 4-foot bucket on it, front end loader like mine does. And she was trying to dig out that trench there where the culvert has to go. Now, mind you, that's not what these things are made for. These are mini tractors. This one is 26 horsepower. Hers is probably 23 or less. It's an older version, and it's only 2-wheel drive. At least mine had 4-wheel drive. Not much more powerful than that Husqvarna riding mower I ride around. But it serves a purpose on a homestead like this. You can move dirt, you can move gravel, you know. The buckets, the limit on the bucket is about 400 pounds. You raise up that 400 pounds and that bucket will start, or the tractor will start teetering. You can put weights on the back. When I use my bucket, I try to have my bush hog on the back for that extra weight. Sometimes it gets in the way. It's a pain in the ass to do it that way, but you know, like when we move Alex's building over to attach it to mine, all that gravel on that pad I'm going to scoop up and put in the driveway. It'll be good for that because it's flat, right? Barbara's trying to go down into the ditch there and scoop out gravel and water. You can't get much. These things are not made to do that kind of work. That takes a backhoe, and a bigger backhoe than these tractors offer. But I thought she was doing a fine job. And once they got it in, then taking gravel and dirt and packing it in, everything, that's perfect for this. Beats the hell out of the way Ed does it with putting 10 buckets of gravel in his truck and driving it down there and dumping the buckets out. But I think she did a fantastic job considering what this is a woman in her 60s just trying to help. And I was reading these comments, right? And I don't watch a lot of his videos, but I was watching that because I was curious to see how they were going to use the tractor and how they were going to fix that. And these comments, people are talking about what a horrible job she's doing and she can't run that tractor. And they need to put a man on the tractor who knows how to run it. You know, just shit like that. Totally uncalled for. I think she did a great job considering I would not take my tractor down that slope like that on loose gravel, try to scoop up stuff and get back up out of that gravel. I would not try that. But she did. She gave it a shot. And I'm sure what she did helped a lot. A lot of that had to be done with shovels. But at least that tractor was there and she was there to save a lot of labor. You know, these people are making comments on there like that tractor should have done the entire job in an hour. It's just not possible, folks. And I thought that was very rude and very uncalled for to leave comments like that. I think if she watches this video, you know, you did a fine job, Barbara. I'm real happy with the job. You know, I'm proud that you tried that and what you were actually able to accomplish on that tractor. Because you took it down in there where I would not have, I guarantee. And I got 4-wheel drive. So, good for you. Don't let those guys bother you if it bothered you. I hope it didn't. But when I'm anxious to see the next video where they're actually bringing over the loads of dirt and the loads of gravel and everything to get on top, because that's what this tractor can do. It can't get giant loads of it, but you can get a 1/4 ton in there maybe, you know, well, not quite a 1/4 ton, but you can get a lot in there and dump it into place. So it was great that you were willing to take your tractor down there and put it through that. And those people saying they should have some man on there or somebody on there that knows how to operate it, right? I wouldn't let anybody on my tractor that I didn't know and that I didn't know if they knew how to use it or not. You know, this thing was $26,000. I'm not just going to let anybody jump on it and try to do a job like that, as precarious as that work was. So good for you. I just wanted to say you did a great job. And to all those people who had left all those snide comments, it just was totally uncalled for. All right, I got that rant out of the way. What else is happening? There ain't a whole lot happening. I got, you know, some more cleanup to do, head back into wheeling. I'll be back out here Thursday, so watch for me again for a live stream on Thursday night. We're going to mark out all the Leech Field and make an appointment for her to come back out. Bobby's going to take his test this week so he can get certified and then turn in his design. And I was kind of proud. He saw my design that she had, because she took my design with her, right? He took a picture of it so that he would know how to do his design. I'm like, yeah, I did okay. But yeah, we'll be marking that out. I'm going to be working more inside my house now, putting up more insulation, getting it ready to start bringing up some drywall. I might only be able to afford, 10 sheets or something like that, but I can get started. And some of that siding, I was saying I got the extra I'm going to use in the dog utility room and, stuff like that. So it'll get used. And that stuff's guaranteed for 50 years. It won't rot, mildew, it's rodent proof, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be good to do in those areas like that. Other than that, folks, that was my weekend. It was a good one. I'm happy to make some progress finally. Hopefully I'll get, 6 weeks, 8 weeks out here of work, and then, I'll have to go get another job. I have to go back to work to make more money to come out here and do the next phase of all this, as far as moving the buildings and everything. I just want to make sure all this septic, all that stuff is done. And then, like I said, I can get a job, work for a while, quit that job, work out here until that money's gone. Yeah, it's a cycle. It's what we got to do. But anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful week. This is Monday. You got a great week coming. I will see you Thursday night. Remember to like, share, make comments, subscribe, all of those things that have to be done. But appreciate y'all hanging out with me this weekend. I'll see you Thursday night. I'm out.